Arnie Seigler is a newcomer to politics and is running for a term in the Township Council on the Republican ticket. He is the vice president of the industrial division of the Monmouth Paper Company, New Brunswick. Arnie is a past exalted ruler of the East Brunswick Lodge of the Elks Club. He and his wife Joyce have lived in the township for 18 years and are the parents of 4 children. Arnie, when I first heard that Arnie Seigler was running for the Republican nomination for councilman, I asked, who is Arnie Seigler? Are you finding a recognition problem in town?
Somewhat, Rhea. Of course, my, let's say, exposure to the township itself was limited solely to my activities with the Elks. But while I'm campaigning and going through different districts, I'm finding it very interesting meeting new people, finding out that their likes and dislikes are similar to mine. So I feel that over, let's say, the course of the campaign, the recognition problem should be overcome.
What kind of concerns are you finding as you go around town? You said you covered 2 districts already?
Yes, Rhea. The biggest concern, of course, with the economy being the way it is reevaluation. Because a lot of people have found that anything that's going to bear an additional expense is going to be somewhat of a hardship. And because this has been kept such a so-called dark secret, and knowing how, let's say, spending and everything has been with our township in the past, people are very hesitant and leery of what is to come with this reevaluation.
Do you feel that the township had any choice in reevaluation? It's a state law to go to 100% evaluation, and they're just doing what they had to do. What is the dark secret?
Well, I feel that over the years, the inequities of the way our township has been, let's say, handing out tax burdens. I guess the best way to say is, I feel that it hasn't been done on totally an equal basis. And I feel that with this reevaluation and because of past records of this town, people are quite concerned as well as being afraid.
You were past exalted ruler of the Elks, which is a pretty big group in this area. I think you had 500 members. You have 500 members now?
We still do have close to 500 members.
And you're still active with the group, aren't you?
Yes, I'm presently, well, just recent past president of the Past Exalted Rulers Association, which I may add now totals 15. As far as my activity with the lodge, I'm recent past public relations chairman for my lodge, and I'm also involved on a state basis as being a district area for the New Jersey State Elks Association as public relations chairman.
What are your biggest accomplishments in the Elks?
Well, I think the one thing that really stands out with my term in office, if you will, was the fact that I was able to institute a handicapped Boy Scout troop at our lodge. And because of this, the lodge itself, on a local level, has gained great recognition.
Now, your past experience in the public has been with baseball, Little League, and a Cub Scout troop, and in the Elks. And you said that you were totally non-political, you're a registered independent. What happened that made you run for council on the Republican ticket?
Well, you know, I've always claimed that politics was never for me, but I guess a lot of people have made that statement. A couple of gentlemen in town who happen to be involved with the Republican Party, and I may add also are Elk brothers of mine, felt that because of my background and because of my concern not only for the youth of our town, but also the people of our town, that possibly I would be a good candidate for council.
Arnie, what is wrong with the Democratic administration as it is now?
Well, being an American, etc., I'm not going to go into, you know, apple pie and all that, but
I mean locally.
Well, this is what I'm trying to lead up to. I feel that there must have been a reason for the two-party system. And for the past 17 years, Rhea, we have had a one-party system, and it has happened to be the Democratic Party. And I feel also, in order to, let's say, bring some semblance of let's say, control, monitoring, and so forth back to our township, it would be a welcome relief in my mind to see a few more Republicans on our council.
Do you have a problem with the spending of the Democrats?
Very much so. I guess a good example is what happened just recently with our hiring of a new director of public safety. And as you well know, we have 5 captains. I would think that to achieve the rank of captain, you must have some knowledge of what is going on in our particular police system. And I can't for the life of me understand why we had to, number one, go outside of our town, encumber an additional $72,000 plus expense to our township when we have this ample or qualified personnel right on our own police force now. Of course, the idea of Mayor Fox stating that it would be wise to have a civilian on the board, well, with a director of public safety, our 5 captains wouldn't want to take that position because they would lose their fringe benefits.
Right.
But there's no reason that our township can't have a chief of police where we can hire from within our own ranks and do away with the director of public safety job. And again, save the township right off the bat, in these economic times, $72,000 plus.
What about the other directors of other departments?
Well, looking at it from that standpoint, and again, being involved in business, I feel that there is an awful lot of duplication in our present administration. And also, I have to say this, I feel that some of our directors, whatever their job may be, are, let's say, being remunerated in far excess to a parity with what's going on in industry, which I feel I'm qualified to talk about.
Do you feel that the directors are overpaid?
To a certain degree, and I feel that some directors who have assistants also making tremendous amounts of money, again, by comparison to a counterpart job in industry. A lot of this, let's say, added personnel is not really needed if it was, again, monitored correctly.
You're the vice president of the Monmouth Paper Company, and in that capacity, do you think you've gained skills that you could transfer as a councilman?
All right, as vice president of Monmouth Paper Company, and I must correct that, I'm actually the vice president of the industrial division of Monmouth Paper Company, which is one of 4 divisions. I feel with my responsibilities, the amount of men under me, etc., makes me more than well qualified for a council position, because in order to understand people, the same, let's say, certain rules and conditions would hold true, whether you're talking industry, you're talking sports, you're talking any function where you're dealing with people.
You've told me that your hobbies are boating and fishing, and I know you've been very deeply into recreation in this town you have 3 sons and a daughter.
Right.
Do you feel that East Brunswick offers enough recreation for children, especially older children?
Yes. I feel that the facilities here in town are more than adequate. I feel that what the township offers for Little League and the other, let's say, activities offered are adequate. Again, I feel that possibly, and I'm really not in a position regarding that question, to know exactly how much the township puts forth in the way of aid and so forth to the various managers and associations regarding Little League Baseball and Pop Warner and so forth.
Have you been on the Citizens Advisory Board for Recreation?
No, ma'am.
Is that something you think you'd like to get involved in if you're on the council?
Definitely, yes.
What other boards would you like to serve on? Is the zoning board, the planning board, the museum board?
Well, I have a lot of friends that live over in the Riva Avenue section of town, and this SSMA, Septic System Management Authority, that's one system because, again, involvement with people, I feel that a lot of things have been done which weren't fair, and or let's say the thought was not solely for the taxpayers of our city or township as opposed to, let's say, other interests. So that is one I particularly would like to get involved with.
Have you found other things that the council has done that has just made your blood boil, or anything that's gotten you, what made you want to be there to
Well,
do
I think
something differently?
I stated before, Rhea, that when you have, well, for the last 17 years, one political type rule, right now I'm very annoyed over the fact we have a rubber stamp Me Too type of government with, well, thank God we have one Republican on the board, but what can one do against four against? And I feel it's time, looking at it from, again, the standpoint of the people, who is watching what is going out, the spending and everything else in these hard times. I feel it's time for a change.
Do you feel that this one Republican councilman, Joe Hudak, has made a difference? Of no, it's one vote of 5?
Yes, I think he has gotten a lot of the people in this township cognizant of the fact that we are in dire need of a change. I really believe Joe Hudak has accomplished.
And I would like to ask you, like I'm asking all the candidates, what is your overall plan for East Brunswick? What do you envision this town to be when it is completely built up?
Well, first off, I think, well, I would like, for a prejudiced reason, all right, because number one, I live here. I've been a resident of this town for greater than 18 years. I feel potentially East Brunswick is a great place to live. But I think if we're going to be living here, let's say in the future, somebody should have taken a lot of time in the recent past to think about water, which is our very means of survival. Think about what dumping is being done in our own town, never mind our county. And there must be another reason, Rhea, why we're referred to as Cancer Alley, you know, and looking at it to answer your question, I would like to, in my own little way, if I may, be able to, let's say, get that stigma off of my town of East Brunswick.
You call it Cancer Alley, and I noticed that you're handing out a newsletter with the other Republicans, the Cancer Alley News. Do you think that is doing East Brunswick any good? People coming and seeing something named the Cancer Alley News?
Well, no. Well, in a way, when you say it's doing us any good...
Well, what I'm saying is nothing has been proven. There has been some correlations between the water and a toxic dump somewhere in the area. But they say our water is safe.
It's safe now, Rhea. But as time goes on, how safe is it going to be 2 years from now, 6 months from now, or 5 years from now? And you're bringing up a young family. I intend to live here. I'm concerned about that future of ours. And if you keep dumping things that, I mean, our newspapers portrayed as toxic, I mean, eventually it's going to get down into that water system.
Arnie, we have enough time now that I'd like to meet your wife, Joyce, and see what she has to say.
Joyce?
Joyce, you're a real estate agent with a Harrington agency,
Yes.
and you must get around town a lot. Do you feel that East Brunswick needs your husband as a councilman?
I think they could use him at this time, yes, definitely.
Do you find problems around town, too?
Well, I really haven't gotten involved in the problems, but, you know, being that we've lived here for a long time, I've seen problems that are cropping up that could be corrected.
Joyce, it's been lovely meeting you and your husband. This is Arnie Seigler, the Republican candidate for council. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We're at the home of Democratic candidate Elaine Denahan, where she lives with her husband Joe and 2 young children. Elaine is a former school teacher and currently works as a legislative aide for State Senator Jimmy Bornheimer. She is a Democratic County Committeewoman and Vice Chairman of the committee this year. For the past 2 years, Elaine has served on the Recreation and Parks Advisory Board.
Whenever you're ready.
Elaine, I really admire you. Here you are a wife and a mother, and you have a career as a legislative aide for Senator Jimmy Bornheimer, and now you want to take on the job and responsibilities of being a councilwoman. How do you do it all?
Well, I do it with cooperation from my family. It's true that all the campaigning and the activities of campaigning take place during the evening hours or on weekends, and without the cooperation of my family, it would not be possible. However, my husband and I, feel that it's important for every member of our family to have and to pursue their interest. We also think it's important to be involved. If you want to have an impact on anything in the community, on anything in general, you have to participate, you have to be involved. And we feel that the advantages of being involved in a campaign outweighs the disadvantages.
And do you think that 4 years of being a councilwoman is something you can handle?
I certainly do feel it. We've discussed it at length among our family members, and I think I can handle it. We recognize that the nights out and the weekends is something you have to do in order to be elected. But if you're lucky enough to be elected in November, that will curtail.
You have Linda, who's 8, and Joey, who's 10.
Yes.
Are they proud of you?
I think they are. They've volunteered to wear shirts that say, "Vote for my mom."
Do they get recognition from their schoolmates?
I don't think so. I don't think their running mates or their schoolmates recognize that I'm one of the candidates now.
Elaine, what do you do for Jimmy Bornheimer?
As a legislative aide, I've attended conferences, meetings, receptions that he cannot attend. I've testified at committee meetings for him. But basically, my role as a legislative aide with Senator Bornheimer deals with citizen or constituent services. The office is never dull. We are always being contacted by people people who want assistance, people who need direction dealing with state government, people who call us to lobby for certain pieces of legislation pending in Trenton, people who want to know statuses of other legislation. So it's really an exciting job. The financial rewards of a legislative aide is not overwhelming, but if you like being in government, if you like the excitement, if you like helping people, then it's a good experience and it's a fun situation.
It sounds like an experience you could transfer to being a councilwoman.
Yeah, I think that government is really responding and being responsive to the total community, to the total constituents involved. I feel very strongly that people in the community should feel welcome, should feel that they can come to council meetings, air their concerns and about certain issues, and should be received with welcome. It should be received well.
We now have a Democratic majority. We have 1 Republican councilman and 4 Democrats and a Democratic mayor. Are you running on the party line, or are there changes you'd like to make if you get elected?
Well, I generally support the accomplishments of the Democrats over the past 10 years. There's so many fine accomplishments that they've had. I think that the concept of a rubber stamp council is so far-fetched. You only have to look at the proposal from the mayor's office for the expansion of the municipal complex. There was a great deal of discussion about the SSMA. It's anything but a rubber stamp. I think, though, some of the accomplishments in the past from the Democrats are overwhelming. Number one, the thing that we constantly stress is the stable municipal tax rate that we have had in East Brunswick for the past 4 years. That's during a period of double-digit inflation. It's a period of when we've seen the cost of everything escalate. And yet we in East Brunswick have had a stable municipal tax rate for the past 4 years.
Now, the Republicans are claiming it's a rubber stamp government, and they're also complaining about the method that the town is using for revaluation, which we're going through now. How do you feel about that?
Well, revaluation is something that's directed, that the municipality is told to do by the County Board of Taxation. You have no option. You have to do it. If you don't fulfill that directive from the County Board of Taxation, they'll reevaluate the community and charge you for that service. Reevaluation is merely the process of bringing assessed value equal to market value. At present, the assessment in East Brunswick is about 58% of true market value. Now, everyone's concerned, will your taxes increase? If you're fairly assessed today, your taxes will not necessarily increase with a revaluation. The amount of money to be raised through taxes will not increase. The tax rate will be lower. So I think that people's fears are unnecessarily founded on this issue.
Now, you've been active in the Democratic Party, and for the last year you've been Democratic Municipal Chairperson. What made you come from behind the scenes to wanting to be in the limelight?
Well, I think it's, as I said earlier, that it's important to be involved. It's important to participate if you want to have an impact on anything. I've been involved in politics for 5 or 6 years in an active way. I was campaign manager for the mayor and council 2 years ago, and I saw an opportunity to run, and I thought that I would like that opportunity at this time.
How is campaigning comparing to running a campaign?
As campaign manager, obviously it was behind the scenes, it was organizing, setting up things. As a candidate, you're out there on the front line, you're being interviewed on television. But I enjoy it. I got some good advice from a dear friend when we started campaigning August 1st. She said, enjoy it, do the best job you can, and make the most of it, and that's what I'm trying to do.
And what type of reception are you getting from residents?
Well, since August 15th, we've been out knocking on doors on weekends, asking people what they think of the community. And we're really impressed that people are satisfied. They're happy. They're happy with things in general that have been accomplished, that have been going on in our community.
Elaine, are you happy? Are you happy with the way the government is running?
I am happy. I think some people felt it would be a difficult year to run, but I think that running on the merits and the accomplishments of the Democrats in the past have made my job a little easier. I look at professional government, I look at open government, I look at long-range planning. All these things are a plus, and especially a plus for a candidate who's running on the Democratic ticket.
Now, you've been on the Recreation Advisory Board for 2 years. How do you feel about the recreation offered in this town? And where is the board going? What plans are there?
Well, the Recreation Advisory Board is a board who advises and oversees things that are done at the Recreation Department. My family and I are avid sports and recreation participants. I really applaud all the volunteerism that we have in our community. We wouldn't have a soccer program, we wouldn't have a baseball program or a football program without the volunteers and the time that they spend with the youth of the community. But that's not the only form of recreation in East Brunswick. We have adult recreation. We have the Senior Citizens Drop-In Center. We have the community beach. And there are all kinds and all forms of recreation in East Brunswick. And I think this only enhances the community in total.
Now, if you're elected, what accomplishments would you like to have?
Well, one of my goals that I'm going to stress is environment, is air and water quality. I'm opposed to any form of industry locating in East Brunswick that would take away from our air quality. Water is a particular concern to me. In the near future, by 1985, East Brunswick's going to have to decide on their source of water. Right now, we have a contract with East Brunswick that will expire in 1985. We have rights to water from the Delaware and Raritan Canal. That water is being pumped out of the canal from New Brunswick and piped into East Brunswick. Will we continue with that? Will we form a regional utility with other communities in the South County area? Will we purchase water from one of the major water companies? There are many sources and options open to our community. I'm going to be stressing quality water, but at the same time, affordable water.
Now, how do you feel about the quality of water? There's been a lot of talk and concerns about the water, even though the testing results come back fine.
Yes, we in East Brunswick test our water 4 times a year. We test water for every known element that could cause cancer. Those tests are performed by certified labs within the state of New Jersey. The results of those tests are posted in the library. I feel at present our water is safe, and I'm very happy with the testing program that we've had. East Brunswick tests their water more often than any neighboring community. We do more thorough testing than any community, and I think the residents can feel safe that their drinking water is free from contamination.
Now, you said you want to stress the environment.
Yes.
What is your opinion about the Wheelabrator Fry proposed garbage burning facility on Edgeboro Road?
Resource recovery is a concept I think that we all could accept. However, Wheelabrator Fry is a mass burning incinerator attempting to locate in East Brunswick. I have some real concerns and real problems dealing with the environment and dealing with the health of their community. The impact of that facility is going to be far greater than just one neighborhood. It's going to be far greater than one community. It's going to have impact on neighboring communities. I feel that they must prove, they must demonstrate to Middlesex County, to the state of New Jersey, that there will be no harmful effects from that facility.
Elaine, I'm asking one question of all the candidates, and we're talking about bits and pieces of our town. What is your overall plan? What would you like to see East Brunswick become in the future?
Well, I've stressed in the residential community the residential nature of East Brunswick. I don't want to see that changed. I want to see us continue to have open green space areas. I want to see the community basically be a residential community. I think that's why we all moved to East Brunswick, and I want to continue that in that mold.
Elaine, can we meet your family?
Certainly, I'd be happy to.
This is Joe Denahan, Elaine's husband, and your children.
Joey and Linda.
Joe, you like to volunteer also. What is your area of interest?
Well, my big area of interest over the last 3 or 4 years has been the soccer program. I've been a coach in the soccer program for 2 or 3 seasons with Joey's team, and for the last 5 or 6 seasons with Linda's team. And I think that the soccer program is one of East Brunswick's real assets, and I am a real enthusiast about it. Last spring we took a girls team to a tournament, and I think it was a very good experience for the girls. They all enjoyed it very much.
Do you plan to get involved in politics at all?
Not really. I think that I'll probably concentrate on the soccer program, and I sort of believe that you should try to do 1 or 2 things and try to do them at least reasonably well, or try to do them reasonably well.
Are you proud of your wife?
Yes. I'm very enthusiastic about her running, and we're all rooting for her.
Joe, Elaine, Joey, Linda, it's been lovely meeting you and being here in your home and giving everybody the opportunity to see you in this setting. Just want to thank you for having us.
Thank you.